has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word.
Sweet the rain's sunlit from heaven, like the first dew on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where God's feet pass.
Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise illumination, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the swaying, praise for the morning, praise for their springing fresh from the
I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. none other has ever known.
In the book there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree, in cocoons a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter there's a spring that waits to be unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. There's a song in every silence, seeking word and melody. There's a dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me. From the past will come the future, what it holds a mystery, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. In our end is our beginning, in our time infinity, in our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity, in our death a resurrection, at the last a victory, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see.
For the beauty of each hour of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, Lord of all, to you we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. For the joy of year and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight, Lord of all, to you we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Good morning. I am Carol Ann Chapman, the minister here at Trinity, and you are very welcome here. Ellie was a very special person to this community, and we are honored to be a part of this end of her life, and as I like to think of it, as more of a send-off on to the next life. Before we begin, I'd like to offer a gentle reminder to turn your cell phones to silent. We gather today with love and gratitude as we remember and celebrate the life of Lorraine Lyon, a mother, a grandmother, a great-grandmother. I've heard the word Nana today. A woman whose life stretched across nearly a century, rooted deeply in faith, family, and community. We come carrying many things, stories and memories, laughter and tears, the quiet ache of loss, and the deep gratitude for a life so richly lived. Ellen's life was one of connection to her family, to her church, to her community, and to the beauty of the world around her. Grief is not one thing, it is many things, and all of it belongs. Today is a space where we can be true to our emotions and express them freely. By remembering, we can honor Ellie in the fullness of who she was and what she meant to us. This service is a time to remember, to give thanks and to reflect and to honor her life. It is also a time to lean into the comfort of faith, the faith that shaped Ellie's life and continues to hold us now. And as we move through this time together, may we feel surrounded by love, the love we have for Ellie, the love she shared so freely, and the love of God that continues to hold her and us still. Let us pray. Loving God, we come into this moment carrying both sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow because someone we love has died and is no longer with us in the way we once knew. Gratitude because Ellie's life was a gift, rich with love, laughter, family, and deep faith. We give you thanks for her long life, for the ways she nurtured others as faithfully as she tended her gardens, and for the countless small acts of kindness and care that shaped the lives around her. In this time together, quiet our hearts. Help us to be present to one another, to the memories we share, and to the love that continues even now. As we hear stories, sing familiar hymns, and reflect on your word, may we be reminded that love does not end, that what is planted in care and faith continues to grow in ways we cannot always see. Hold us in our grief. Surround us with your peace, and gently remind us that we are never alone. Amen. And I'm now going to invite Ellie's son, Ken, to come forward and say a few words.
Hi. I too would like to extend a warm and loving welcome to everyone here and also those watching the YouTube stream. For those of us who don't live here, isn't it wonderful to be back in Muskoka? This was Mom's favorite place in the world, especially her beloved Bala. I'm going to focus my remarks on stories and memories behind some of the photos that you just saw. Some of you won't know this, but Mom was born on a kitchen table at the old Hartley farm, just above Rattlesnake Point. And that first photo in the slideshow was taken in 1930. She was the third of 4 daughters born to Alan Bastido McCready, known as AB or Mac, and Lillian Hartley. She loved the farm, where she developed a lifelong love of apples. One of the photos shows a group sitting on the front porch. That was taken in the early 1940s with Mom front and center in that group. Her grandfather told her that she was the best apple picker he had, except she ate almost as many apples as she picked. Farm life wasn't for her dad, and those were the Depression years. So he moved the family to Toronto and got a job as a gas station attendant. Those were tough years, when all the kids wore hand-me-downs and everything was saved and recycled. This instilled lifelong habits in both Mom and Dad, which they passed along to their kids. To this day, I hesitate to throw out a good piece of string or some screws or nuts and bolts left over from a project, instead putting them in organized containers. I think Gary was like that too. Sue tells me that he used a Dymo labeler, just like his dad, to keep things super organized. AB slowly worked his way up the ladder at Imperial Oil. I remember as a little kid, when they lived at 13 Norman Avenue, when he took me around in his truck delivering fuel oil. The family was frugal and loved to go camping in Muskoka. And so it was in the late 1940s when they bought the Ballot Cottage property. Mom, meanwhile, was doing very well in school. She wanted to go on to post-secondary, but AB said no. Women stay at home and have babies. After high school, Mom worked at IBM as a key punch operator. One of the photos, that's shown by one of the photos taken in 1948, when she's sitting in part of the key punch operator pool. She was happy working until her boss dropped by her desk one day and said, "Miss McCready, we do not whistle while we work." Mom dated her, my dad, who she met through her sister Anna, who was dating Bob, Dad's best friend. They married in 1949 and moved to Byron in 1953, just a few weeks before I was born. They had 4 children, me, Gary, and our twin sisters, Sharon and Karen. The early photo of the 6 of us was taken around 1960 at Bala. We all love Bala. Swimming, tea by the water, catching frogs in the swamp. And then there was a time she almost killed a bunch of us when she took me water skiing and accidentally threaded a very shallow 5-foot wide channel between the mainland and an island on the other side of the bay. Why we're still alive, I don't know. The raccoon and nighttime shot was taken in 2001 when a raccoon was banging around on the back porch and woke everybody up. And we love seeing our aunts, uncles, and cousins, especially at Thanksgiving, when we gathered for a McCready family reunion. This is what you see in some of the photos, group photos, that span 5 decades. Mom was always frustrated that she and other women were discouraged from working. Those were the times, though. As Kelly told me last night, Men should be glad that women want equality and not revenge. Instead of working, Mom poured much of her energy into the United Church and a faith-based group, Canadian Girls in Training. And you see that in some of the photos that include from the 1980s when she was at Colburn Street United, and Colburn's first female clerk of session. The stained glass window the family donated to the church, and if you ever visit and look closely in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see an inscription that Herb had added, sort of snuck into the design, and so look for that. There are two things that I remember the most about Mom. One is the long talks that we had in the kitchen about anything and everything, but especially what was happening in the world. Mom would not be happy with the present state of affairs. The other thing, which I especially came to see in my later years, is how loving and giving she was towards people while asking little in return. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. We're now going to sing together, so I'll ask you to please stand as you are able. The song is Love Divine, and the words will be on a video on the screen. So please stand as you're able.
Love divine, all loves excelling, joy of heaven to earth come down. Fix in us thy humble dwelling, all thy faithful mercies crown. Jesus, thou art all compassion, pure unbounded love thou art. Visit us with thy salvation, enter every trembling heart. Come, Almighty, to deliver. Let us all thy grace receive. Suddenly return and nevermore thy temples leave. Thee we would be always blessing, serve thee as thy hosts above. Pray and praise thee without ceasing, glory in thy perfect love. Finish then thy new creation, pure and spotless let us be. Let us see thy great salvation, perfectly restored in thee. Change from glory into glory, till in them we take our place, till we cast our crowns before thee, lost in wonder, love, and praise.
Please be seated. I'd now like to invite Ellie's daughter Sharon to come forward to say a few more words.
Morning. I am wearing Mom's magic sweater. And it's magic because she, like me, now hers was a runny nose, but I knew I was going to need Kleenex. And she could produce it from every sleeve and every pocket at any time. So I thought, I need her magic sweater today. So that's why I'm wearing Mom's sweater. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming to celebrate the life of Mom. I'm going to start by saying a few weeks ago, Alexis asked me a question about Mom's relatives, and I didn't know the answer. Mom's parents, their parents, what's our heritage? I said, I don't know, but I do know who knows. So I reached out to Ron, and I said, Ron, I understand you've got the genealogy of the McCready family. And he said, oh, you want it? I'll send it to you. So he did. Thank you, Ron. He did. And I was gobsmacked when I received it, because this thing, I couldn't believe it. It is 28 pages long of our genealogy. It goes back 16 generations to, there's reference in here in 1540, in I said, Ron, how long did this take you? He said about 45 years. So I sent it to Alexis and said, here's some light reading for you. And it goes back many, many generations. Just incredible. But what I saw in those pages, page after page, was the lineage of Ellen Lorraine McCready Lyon. Third of 4 daughters, born to William Allen Bastido McCready and Lillian Estelle Hartley. Mom's mom Lillian died at age 56 in 1957, the year before Karen and I were born. Mom would have been 27 when she died. She missed her terribly for her entire life. I don't really remember Mom's dad. We would have been around 5 when he passed. I do remember a gathering in the old cottage. You know where the pump house is? Well, there was a cottage attached to that pump house. And that was the old family cottage that got torn down. But I do remember a family gathering in there, and I do vaguely remember Grandpa. Memories. Most of the names on Ron's sheet hold no memories for us. They faded away with time to names just printed on a list. But that list of names and dates leads to Aunt Ruth, Aunt Anna, Mom, and Aunt Carol. Meaningful names for us. Recent memories. Memories. Oldest daughter, Ruth. What's the first memory that springs to mind when you hear of Aunt Ruth? For me, it's butterscotch pie. Every Thanksgiving, right? They lived in the Green Cottage. Second daughter, Aunt Anna. Her distinct giggle. Pine Cottage. Third daughter, Mom. Kind smiles. Afternoon tea. The White Cottage. Fourth and last daughter, Carol, the teacher. The cool aunt. The New Cottage. I really didn't realize growing up how unusual our family was in more than one way. spending all of our summers, holidays together in Bala. So much swimming, skiing, fishing, fireworks. There's stories there. Okay, fireworks. Walks into town. Dad's pyro bonfires. Volleyball. Zelball. I mentioned afternoon tea, always. Boat rides. Box to Bala. Mosquitoes. Dynamite Rock. The Button Bush. Fogging. It's a wonder we're all still alive. Scones. Dirty Gertie. It's a game. Pit. Spoons. Rain on a tin roof. Hide and seek. And lots of love. Neighbors who also got sucked into our shenanigans. The Hoods, the Irwins, the Ailings, and up the line. And growing up in a busy household with a twin sister and 2 older brothers. And sharing a room with a twin sister through puberty. Again, it's a wonder we're still alive. The teasing, the tears, the laughter, spaghetti on a white carpet, won't name names, patience, the forgiveness, some scars, the weddings, the funerals, the birthdays, CGIT for us girls, and then poor Mom and Dad, Ken on trombone, Gary on trumpet, and Karen and I playing the violin. It's a wonder they weren't all wearing hearing aids. High expectations for all of us. Chicken and dumplings. Exceptional baking. Mom's specialty, apple pie. The cookies, the cakes. Mom's canning. She liked to can things. Percy stands out as one of our most beloved pets. Percy the cat. Patience. Love. Mom really was the glue that held it all together. The example Mom and Dad left and set for us was exceptional, special. The memories they gave us, exceptional. Mom wanted more for us, more from us. She was always in the audience, listening to us play. She came to the graduations. She came to visit wherever our travels took us. She drilled into Karen and I especially that we needed to have post-secondary and to travel and to be able to support ourselves and don't let a man take care of us. Which we both did. And I think those wishes, of course, were based on her regrets. As Ken mentioned, she won a scholarship but didn't go to university because her dad said there was no point. She was only going to get married and have kids, to which she did. Married at age 19, 4 kids. But I think she always wondered, what if? Oakwood Collegiate in Toronto, she won the chance to sing with a big band at Casa Loma. She sang all her life, church choirs. And I think in the back of her mind, she always wondered, maybe, what if, with her singing. As the barriers dropped for women over the years, she rejoiced and encouraged Karen and I that we would work, have a family, explore our dreams, stand on our own 2 feet, travel, be independent. Thank you, Mom. As years passed, and even as Mom's memories faded, her core being remained kind, patient, and a wonderful sense of humor. Alexis was visiting last fall. We were sitting outside the Dearness home, and Mom was asking, as she asked every visit, "Where am I?" Okay, you're at the Dearness home, Mom. Okay. Followed by, always asked about Alexis, what's she doing now? And always asked about Robert. And I said, yeah, Robert's married. He is? I said, I know. And he has 2 girls. He does? I said, I know. Amazing. And then her last question usually was, is Herb still alive? And I answered as I always did. You're at the Dearness home in London. Robin and Alexis are still good. Here's Alexis visiting. I know, amazing. And I said, and I'm sorry, but Dad's passed away. But this time there was a bit of a pause, and with a little twinkle in her eye, she asked, did I kill him? And we all laughed, and then we stopped and said, wait a minute, Mom was the only one with him when he passed away. One thing I'm grateful for is she always remembered family up until she passed. And yes, she was ready to go. We're all connected. Our family names have been added to this lineage. More names get added all the time, even recently. Our names are making memories. We not only make and pass on memories with our stories, we also have a few physical gifts that have followed generations. McCready Hartley females, we were talking about this last night, usually have something called twin toes. 2 toes that are joined a little bit more than usual. So that is passed down through generations. Essential tremors also run in the family. And we have a few in the family who have that. And judging by the description of something that she explained about her own mom, I seem to have inherited Derkham's disease, something that her mom's mom had. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one who won that lottery. And alas, the Lyon nose is what came from my dad. As a family, though, we've also been gifted with kindness, service to others, compassion, curiosity, resilience, forgiveness, and a special sense of family. Your memories of Ellen McCready Lyon will be different based on the interactions you've had with her over the years. This is where I might need this magic sweater. Okay. For me, she will forever be Mom, my sounding board, my confidant, my travel buddy, my helper as I became her helper in her last year, my rock, my garden whisperer, my cheerleader, my inspiration. She is and will always be one of my most beloved memories. Thank you.
Good. So we're now going to have Sharon's daughter and Ellie's granddaughter, Alexis, to come up and sing today. This was a request by Ellie. And it is a piece that Alexis also sang at Herb's funeral several years ago. So, Alexis.
You who dwell
The snare of the fowler will never capture you, and famine will bring you no fear. Under his wings your refuge, his faithfulness your shield, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. You need not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by the day. Though thousands fall about you, near you it shall not come. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. For to his angels he's given a command to guard you in all of your ways. Upon their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you, and hold you, and hold you in the palm of his hand, in his hand, in his hand.
Thank you. That was absolutely beautiful. She already made me cry when I heard the preview earlier, so I'm good now. But absolutely beautiful. So I have a short reading today from the book of James. Be doers of the word and not merely hearers who deceive themselves. For if any are hearers of the word and not doers, they are like those who look at themselves in a mirror. For they look at themselves and on going away, immediately forget what they were like. But those who look into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and persevere, being not hearers who forget, but doers who act, they will be blessed in their doing. So our scripture today from the letter of James offers a simple but deeply challenging invitation. Be doers of the word and not merely hearers. It's one of those passages that feels very clear, and yet it asks a great deal of us, because it's one thing to hear words of faith, to sing them, to pray them, to believe them. It's another thing entirely to live them out in ordinary days, in quiet choices, in the way we show up for others again and again. Those words from James are a description of Ellie. Ellie was, in every sense, a doer. From a young age, her life was shaped by her involvement by CGIT. We've heard about that, Canadian Girls in Training, where the motto was, be doers of the word. And that wasn't something that Ellie left behind. It became a thread that ran through her whole life, and it became a way of being. From a young age, because for Ellie, faith was never just something you believed. It was something that you lived. And we see that in many ways she gave herself, in the ways that she gave herself to church and to others. At Colborne Street United Church, she served as clerk of session, a role with deep responsibility and quiet leadership. She was head of the UCW, the United Church Women, organizing, encouraging, and ensuring that things didn't just get talked about, but actually happened. And when she came here to Trinity in Gravenhurst, that same spirit continued. She led the yearly rummage sales and worked the yearly bazaars, practical, hands-on work that builds community and expresses generosity in real, tangible ways. And she continued her church work as long as she was able, because for her, this wasn't an obligation, it was a calling. And there's a story about Ellie that captures this beautifully. For a brief time, Ellie took a paid job at a bookstore in London, a place that suited her very well because she loved to read, and it would have been a perfect fit for her. But when that job began to take time away from her church work, she made a choice. She left the job, not because it wasn't meaningful, but because it wasn't the most meaningful thing for her. Her service, her church, her community, that was where her heart was. That is what it looks like to be a doer of the word. Not in grand gestures, but in steady, faithful decisions over a lifetime. James writes about those who hear the word but forget, like someone who looks in a mirror and walks away unchanged. But Ellie didn't forget that. She looked into the mirror of faith and she lived it, in the way she served, in the way she showed up, and in the way she kept going year after year. And not only in church roles, but in the fullness of her life, her love of family, her care for others, and in her joy in the simple things, like baking and conversation and a cup of tea. Her life reminds us that faith is not separate from the everyday, it is woven into it. So what does this mean for us? It offers both comfort and calling. Comfort because the love Ellie gave has not been lost. It lives on in the people she shaped, in the community she helped build, and in the memories that we carry. And in calling, because her life gently asks something of us, not to be her, but to be ourselves, fully and faithfully. To take the love we have known and put it into action, to be doers of kindness, doers of compassion, doers of care in the ways that are ours to offer. Because that is how love continues, and that is how faith really lives. And that is how a life like Ellie's keeps bearing fruit long after it's ended. In the bulb, there is a flower, a hymn that Ellie loved. There is this line: "There's a dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me." And even now we hold on to that hope, that what has been planted in love continues to grow, that what has been lived in faith continues to shine, and that in the quiet, faithful example of Ellie's life, we are shown gently and clearly how to live. Amen. I'd now like to invite Kathleen Taylor to come forward to share a few more things.
Good morning. I would like to tell you what I'm thinking this morning. And the word that is coming to my mind as I've been listening to all of these stories is gratitude. You know, when we were spending those countless hours at Bella, in family and Thanksgiving and all of the wonderful things that we've already mentioned, I don't think that any of us realized how special it was and how grateful we should be about having that experience until we didn't have it anymore, and now we remember it. But we were so lucky. How many people get to experience life with all of their aunts and uncles and cousins? For Amy and I, who are the youngest of our generation, we were really lucky because even though we never got to know our McCready grandparents, we had 3 sets of grandparents: Aunt Anna and Uncle Bob, Aunt Ruth and Uncle Tom, Uncle Herb and Aunt Ellie. And they taught us how to be good people, how to be strong women, how to have a sense of humor, how to deliver the McCready zinger, how to get up and talk in front of people and make it funny and make it smart, how to be good people. When Aunt Ellie and Uncle Herb and Aunt Anna and Uncle Bob moved up to Muskoka in the late 80s, we got together frequently and had meals at each other's houses. We would take turns hosting, and there would always be so much laughter and so much fun. In 2010, when we lost so many of our family, the women became that much closer. And Aunt Anna and Aunt Ellie, and the 5th honorary sister, Helen, who of course grew up right next door at 11 Norman and was a lifelong friend and beloved sister in the heart to all of the McCready girls, would get together when Helen and Frank moved up too. Well, I guess it was just Helen at that point in time. And the laughter and the tears of joy and the good times that we shared were so infectious and wonderful. We went on trips together. We went to Vegas, and that was a laugh. Boy, I'll tell you, the blue daiquiris on Fremont Street were a hoot and a holler, especially when they discovered them the next morning when they went to the bathroom and they'd stayed with them for a while. Bit of freaking out in the older ladies' room that morning, but the laughter about what silliness they'd had. The carousel ride on Bouchard Gardens when, in her mid-80s, Aunt Ellie said, "I'm going to ride the Lyon." And we laughed as she struggled to get on, and they had to move the carousel forward so she could get off. Trips to Florida, where she took her tablet, which Erin helped her get, and which she learned how to operate later in life and was so proud of the fact that she could tell her tablet to take a picture. She and Amy went into the budgie cage, and they were given little sticks with budgie treats, and there was Aunt Ellie with her tablet surrounded by budgies, smiling from ear to ear. We went to Bermuda. We had some wonderful experiences with Aunt Ruth, who was able to go and went on the train ride with us to New York. And Uncle Bob and Aunt Anna and Aunt Ruth and Mom and Dad and I and Sharon got in a limousine because we had so much luggage at Penn Station, and Uncle Bob said, "I've never been in a limousine before." And we laughed and had such a good time. Our cruise to the Western Caribbean, where we all had matching shirts with Canada flags and the McCready family on the back of them. And that was the trip when Aunt Ruth went with us, I believe. And while we were off on Belize, Aunt Ruth had the best experience of the entire trip because she was sitting on her balcony and they were throwing kitchen scraps out the side of the ship, and she had a show with about 15 dolphins for over 45 minutes. That was also the trip where the phrase shiny bits was coined among the cousins and the aunts because, Well, we were pushing Aunt Ruth. I think Aunt Ellie was pushing Aunt Ruth, and we walked by a table full of jewelry. And now the funny thing about the story was that it was Uncle Herb's wheelchair. When Aunt Ellie picked it up from Muskoka Shores, it was Leisure World at the time, she grabbed 2 foot pegs. Well, they were the wrong foot pegs. So poor Aunt Ruth had to hold her feet up when we were pushing the wheelchair. And we took turns pushing. And on this particular experience, when they walked by the table of jewelry, Aunt Ruth's feet went down because she wanted to stop and look at the shiny bits because the McCready women are power shoppers. And Aunt Ellie just about went head over heels, and they had such a good laugh. In these visits, it was an opportunity to see Aunt Ellie's character and how easygoing she was. And yes, some things got her riled up. I can remember when she thought they were taking the train tracks out of Gravenhurst, and she was so annoyed and was going to write letters to people. But most of the time, she was easygoing. And she'd take little bumps in the road with her stride, and with laughter and with jokes. One of my favorite last memories of Aunt Ellie when she was here at the Manor was her birthday in 2024. And Amy and I and Mom went over to visit Aunt Ellie on her birthday, and we took her a gift bag full of little treats, mostly snacks, because she really didn't need anything. Sharon kept her well supplied with all of her goodies. We gave her the gift, and she said, "What is this for?" We said, "It's your birthday." She said, "It's my birthday?" We said, "Yes." "Well, how old am I? I must be about 82. We said, "You're 94. "No." We said, "Yes, you're 94, and here's your gift." And she opened it, took everything out. Ooh, and odd, oh, cookies, oh, fuzzy socks. Thanked us very much and put it all back in the bag. And the visit continued. About 10 minutes later, she said, "Why are you here to visit me?" We said, "It's your birthday." "No." And she opened the bag again and was equally surprised and delighted over everything that she was given. I think she opened the bag about 4 times. And we didn't tell her because she didn't need to know. But if we had told her, she would have laughed. Because in all of the things that she had, her sense of laughter and being able to laugh at herself, to laugh at the situations she found herself in, to maintain her joy through the losses she endured, through losing Karen, through losing her, through losing all of our loved ones, she still was able to laugh and find joy, and to bring that joy into every gathering as the life of the party. We miss Aunt Ellie very much because she was such a special person, and she meant so much so very much to all of us. But what we continue to carry with us is that joy, that laughter, that ability to pour a cup of tea and sit down and have a peak-freen cookie, the really good ones with the little red jam centers, and to appreciate life, to share the joy and the gratitude of life with each other, to feel blessed by how connected we are, and to have the knowledge that we are all taken care of and loved by God. These are the things that Ellie gave to us, and we are so blessed to have them. And so I give thanks today for Aunt Ellie and all of the ways that she touched all of us. Thank you for letting me share these memories today.
Thanks, Kathleen. I'm going to invite Alexis back up, and she's going to be singing this time for good. Now, this song is meaningful because she also sang it at Ellie's daughter's Karen's funeral. And Karen was a cheerleader for Alexis, and she never missed one of her shows, so that's very special. So Alexis.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Thank you. We all have been changed for good because we knew Ellie. And even if we didn't know her and we just saw her smile, she changed people's worlds. So I'm now going to invite Sue to come up, and she's going to speak on behalf of Gary's family and her family.
Hello, everyone. Coming for the color commentary. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is such a wonderful, wonderful event. And I'm afraid you're going to hear some repetitive stories because obviously they made a huge impact on all of us. But the biggest impact on us was Ellie. And I want to tell you that our family, we lost Gary 6 days before Ellie died. But we know they're dancing in heaven, right? They're there keeping each other company. Gosh, and Sharon, this is Ellie's. I thought I was wearing magic. But I only have one spot for cleaning, so I may call on you, okay? Yeah, our family includes Megan, her husband Lee, their children Margot and Clark, our son Jeff and his son Rowan. Ellie was an amazing person and role model, no matter what role she engaged in. Wife, mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, great-grandmother, or G-Nan, as known in our family, sister, or friend. Ellie didn't just believe in her Christian faith. And thank you for mentioning that. She didn't believe in it, she lived it. Every day. And in Galatians, one of my favorite Bible passages, worth reading, we learn about how the Holy Spirit works in all of us. Well, indeed, it worked in Ellie. You could see the fruits of the Spirit shaped her as a person. Love. Well, love, as we know, is a verb. And we also know that when we meet someone, it's how they make us feel. Well, Ellie made us feel loved and cared for, and I'm sure she made you feel the same way. And as a lot of you have mentioned, just her smile, just being there. She was selfish and sacrificial. Selfless, sorry. She was not selfish at all. That was not a Freudian slip. She made time for us. She asked us what we were doing. She cared. She really wanted to know and was interested. It was genuine. She was there for us. In fact, when we couldn't come back for our daughter's graduation, because we lived in England, guess who Megan invited?
That's my story too. And she dropped me off at university on my first day. Like, it was a full circle thing. She took the time and had so much care that she showed.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about what we're going to say,
I know.
so there you go.
Yeah.
Another fruit of the Spirit is joy. Oh my gosh, you've heard stories of how she brought joy. Her sense of humor, Kathleen was saying, honestly, it never ended. And
We can all just remember, when she laughed with her whole body, and she'd throw her head back. Like, I don't know anyone who does that anymore. That old school, like it was the best. It was the best.
And she was always happy, no matter what, really. And she just made you feel happy. To see her, she never complained. I know this family, and I've been part of this lovely family for 15 years. Since I've been 15. I won't tell you how many years that is. And honestly, I can never remember her complaining about anything, truly. She taught me how not to complain. And her great sense of humor offset so many times when things could have gone very wrong. Another fruit of the Spirit is peace. She didn't seem to worry about things, really, and she was a doer. Her inner calm was just so evident and just present in any situation. She dealt with things peacefully and in an empathetic way. And wow, do we need more of that in this world, don't we? And I have to tell you about the time, no one mentioned this story. We've repeated, I'm sorry, we will repeat a few more stories. But Rob, Ellie's younger grandson, he was at the end of the dock in Bala. And for some reason, he fell into the water. And quick, pardon? For some reason. And really, and he,
Spirit compelled him.
and he really couldn't swim. We all quickly, I forget who pulled him out. Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it Dad? But you know what the new rule was? Okay, Ellie was calm, she was, considered. She said, okay, everybody has to wear a life jacket down in the dock. At under 10?
Yeah, 35. It felt a little extreme to some of us. I think I was in the clear.
But we respected her, and we respected her decision, and she knew why. We knew why it was happening, and we knew that it totally made sense. Patience. She was slow to anger. You've heard that phrase. Well, truly, she was slow to anger. The time when she thought, and I think this might have been Robert too, that somebody had eaten the blueberry pie that was sitting out in the front porch. Well, you saw that raccoon, the picture of the raccoon. Well, you know what? In the end, it wasn't Robert at all. It probably was a squirrel or raccoon, or maybe even Herb. Kindness. She was always thinking of other people. And truly, the theme I find today is also, it's generosity, but it's kindness. Ellie was extremely kind and compassionate. When we'd spend time with her, she'd ask about everybody in the family. And like Kathleen said, she'd probably forget what you said. She'd ask you all over again. But she cared, and she was kind about it. We've talked about the fact that she would help with events. She was totally involved, and I was involved in Coburn Street United Church Women with her, and I could see her as a leader, and I could see her as someone who was always thoughtful and didn't rush people and took her time, and her commitment to CGIT was commendable. She was at the Bethune House as a volunteer and a literacy volunteer at Gravenhurst also, and I'm sure I'm missing some of the other things she's done. Goodness. Proverbs 22:1 says, a good reputation and respect are worth much more than silver and gold. Well, we respected her values and morals. She never wavered. It was sometimes hard, we knew where the line was drawn, but we respected her for it. She was firm but fair. Faithfulness. She was honest as the day was long, as they say. She was trusted and reliable. If she said she would do something, she did it. She did it, and she did it with love and her whole being. I can tell you that Megan was only 2, and we lived in Montreal, and we had to go to a conference. I know you're going to feel sorry for me when I tell you it was in Hawaii, but we had no one to watch Megan, and we called up Ellie, and we said, could you watch her? She said, absolutely. So we met at the airport in Toronto. We gave our dear little 2-year-old to Ellie with no qualms about it at all. And that just tells you the kind of person she was. She was there for us. Gentleness, she was humble in herself, but proud of her family. That was Ellie. Gary would tell people, you've heard that but Gary would tell people, not Ellie, that she sang at the Casa Loma Band. And the story went that, and this was in high school, that the band leader asked for Ellie. Now that's impressive, isn't it? And one time she came and he said, okay, Ellie, you know the song we rehearsed? And she goes, what song? And he said a song, and she goes, no, that's not the one I'm gonna sing. And he totally changed the plans because she was ready to sing something else. Another fruit of the Spirit was self-control. She was totally in control, and I can tell you, and my brother and his wife are here today, and they can attest to this, that my mother wasn't an easy person to get along with. And Ellie welcomed our family. She welcomed everybody. But you know what? She had self-control, and my mom could be a bit bossy. So, it was impressive to see how Ellie managed to deal and accept with her, and the restraint and kindness she showed. We have to take in our hearts that Ellie really was someone who was witnessing the fruits of the Spirit. So I just want to say to you, and I apologize for the little rhyming, so the next time you have a cup of tea, please think of the lovely Ellie She cared about you and me, so in our hearts, she will always be. God bless you, Ellie.
One quick little word from me. I think by virtue of the fact that we moved around so much, I don't have a good head for specific memories. But like someone mentioned, most of the time, I don't know if we remember what people did, but we always remember how they made us feel. So I just wanted to talk quickly about two things: my Nana's letters to me and the way she'd always sign off and say goodbye to you in person. So she'd write to me, she'd write such words of love and encouragement. They always seemed to be delivered to me on days when I needed them the most. They were so uplifting, and in only the way that our grandparents can, they went into way too much detail about the weather. But it didn't matter. It was the thought that counts. And it's her goodbyes that will stay with me forever. And we can all remember Nana's, Grandma's goodbyes. She'd grip your arms. She'd give you the most intense eye contact, just totally locked in, and proclaim, "I love you," in a tone that was so assured, so adamant, you'd feel for a little while after that everything was going to be okay in your life, because this person was going to be a part of it. We are all better for having her in our lives.
Megan. I'm now going to invite Aaron to come forward to speak for Karen's family.
So I brought a fun little hat that Grandma appreciated. So left that one at home. A little harder to lug around. Hi, good afternoon now, I believe. I'm Aaron. I was the favorite grandchild. I know that's not true, but she definitely made me feel that way. So. I remember Grandma coming down to babysit. Mom and Dad were going on vacation. Came down to London. Grandpa had driven her. He went back home, probably vacation of his own or something along those lines. While Grandma was in London, wanted to take advantage. I guess she was in a gang of some sorts, the Crazy Eight. So she invited all these old ladies over for a game night. They were crazy. Before they all arrived, Grandma asked me if I still had my goofy hat, this hat, and if she could borrow it. It was weird, but sure, yeah, here's my hat. She answered the door for each one of her friends wearing this hat. And the cackling that filled the house, like Mark, Mike, and I, like, what are we dealing with here? Only to be outdone later in the night. We thought all the laughter was coming down. In her rush of getting ready for all the friends coming over, she had shoved all these dirty dishes into the oven. Her friend, going to put in a dessert for their game night, opened it. I remember sticking my head out of my bedroom because the house is full of cackling, looking at Mark, looking at Mike, equally puzzled. What is going on, these ladies? It's who Grandma was. She taught me to laugh often and not to take things too seriously. She taught me how easy it is to mix up the sugar and the salt. Check your ingredients. You don't want salt cookies. She taught me if you're not washing the dishes, then you're drying them. Everybody should help out if you can. She taught me any time is a good time for tea time. I think the best cup of tea I ever had was on the dock with all my cousins. She taught me how to play Dirty Gertie. We heard that earlier. Sitting on the veranda at night playing with all the family. She taught me the best blueberries are the ones you pick yourself, baked into a pie or pancakes, maybe just on their own. She showed me the strength of a woman when it wasn't always so easy. I see it in Sharon. I saw it in my mom. On her 80th birthday, while Mom was in the hospital, I had to break the news to her that Aunt Ruth had passed away. We went down to the cafeteria for a cup of tea, of course, to talk about it, to talk about family. And she told me death is so final. In that, she taught me time matters, family matters, and relationships matter. Our memories matter. So, let's all remember Grandma the best we can. Be silly, be kind, help where you can, laugh, play, and spend time with loved ones. Stay up late, enjoy a cup of tea. Keep your dirty dishes out of the oven. Yeah, okay, thank you.
So before we get ready to go down for the reception, we're going to sing one more hymn, Joyful, Joyful, and again the words and will be on the screen. So please stand as you're able. I'll just ask that you remain standing for now. Before we leave, I'd like everybody to know that you're invited downstairs to join the family. Now, to get downstairs, you can go out this door, down to the end, turn right, and you'll find it eventually if you go down the stairs. Or if you're going out this way, again, you turn left and then left down the stairs and you can get in that way. If somebody needs an elevator, the elevator is out these doors to the right. But experience tells me by now people are needing the washrooms as well. So there is one up here, a gender neutral washroom is up here down on the left. I'm trying to make sure I have my left and right here. Or the other place is down in the hallway. There's a ladies and men's washroom downstairs. So hopefully that will get you where you need to go. And thank you so much again for coming. So as we go from this place, may we carry with us the spirit of Ellie, her warmth, her generosity, her quiet strength, and her deep lived faith. May we be not only hearers of love, but doers of it, living out kindness, compassion, and care in the world, just as she did. And as we go, may we trust this, that love continues, that life unfolds in ways beyond our knowing, and that what has been planted in love is never lost. Go now in peace, held in the grace of God, surrounded by the love of community and family, and strengthened for the days ahead. Amen. So please join us downstairs.
Morning has brought